So, are all the Loas healers in your eyes?
I want to believe so, in the sense that since they're connected, yeah, I would say so because, for example, in my personal, I'm a very devoted to San Martin de Porre or Guerrero Gotro, they call it in the 21 edition. He's part of the Guerrero.
Explain to us a little bit about who he is.
So that's another thing. A lot of people identify their spiritual guides, and they go through just the Catholic part of it, or the image that was used to represent the Loa.
Right.
So in the sense of San Martin de Porre, the Loa that is represented by his image, the Catholic image of San Martin de Porre, is this Loa called Geregotro. And essentially he doesn't have what we call like special gifts of power. Like a lot of people will say, oh, Anais is for love, or San Miguel is for protection, or
Right.
But I believe that their energy is just transformative on what you need at the moment. So
Right.
going back to your question, do I believe that all Loases are healers? I believe that they have the power to do. Some people just when they're practicing the whole religion, they will go specifically for certain Loases that, for example, it's easier for me to go back to Santeria, but Baba Luaye,
Right.
or San Lázaro, he's pretty good for like health. And people will go through that. But if I'm the el hijo de Anaísa,
Right.
and I ask for health, I believe that she's gonna provide, because that's what his the hijo needs at that moment.
Right.
So essentially all the santos are good for everything if you pay tribute to them and do the puntos the way it is. But there are definitely elements and lineage of specific things for specific loases. So los radar are good for this, and the Gedes are good for that. You people identify like that just to simplify it,
Right,
and
right.
just to put a name on it. But I believe every loa or every spirit
It's
has the
capable.
ability of having.
Okay. What are some caution or warnings that you would like to give someone when it comes to the Loa?
Respect. A lot of people don't respect the santos. They will use them for a specific reason and a specific time, or something that they're going through, and then they discard of it. They just put it somewhere and not just the image, just the respect of the loa or the spirit that is gonna be invoked when you light a candle, when you do a punto, and then all of a sudden they forget about it. I tell every one of my clients, if you're not willing to take care of your santos, please just don't bring it in.
Right.
Just for one reason. So I have the example. Give you an example. A lot of people that have problems with their partners or in court or something, and they want to like dominate something over, like they want to dominate the situation. So they bring Santa Marta. Santa Marta will provide the the resolution to whatever problem they have, and then all of a sudden, then Santa Marta's in a sink somewhere, or under the sink, or they just forget about the loa. They forget about that energy seriously, and they would go back to prendiendo un velón al divino niño. But meanwhile, you use this energy, this cosmic energy, to solve a problem, and then once you resolve, they just discard it. I'll take care of it.
Okay. So what are some pros and cons? Actually, we touched into that already. What are the Loa limited to? Do you believe that they have certain limits that only God can provide? Or no?
That's a loaded question. That's a big question. Yeah. I think everybody plays their part. I guess in my belief. People are very comfortable on saying that, oh, I believe in God above everything, and my loases are just messengers to get your message. essentially stripping down power from the Luat itself and just saying that God is the one that provides all the thing, which I'm okay with if that's your belief.
Right.
I'm okay with, but I believe that in another sense that Loases have enough power to take care of certain things without any just being a messenger for God. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So maybe that's blasphemous. Like I'm saying like
No.
no. And so I do believe that Loases have a lot of power, especially because they're so connected to us, the material world.
Right.
They're close. I see it as. I remember I read something in a book. I think it was an Islamic book or something to do with Jewish thing, and they mentioned the name of Gabriel, and in one of the passages of that book they said that God wanted to give gifts to humanity, and they sent it with one of his angels, Angel Gabriel, and it says in the passage that Angel Gabriel stood in one of the farthest corners of the earth and actually threw the whatever gift because he didn't want to get in contact with the material world and us humans because we're not worthy of God's praise. On the other hand, in the same passage, they spoke about Arcángel Miguel, where he's so close to the human part of, and he feels so identified with humanity that he loves us, and he,
Wow.
So that was pretty. Just to see how in those passages they perceive like most of the creation of God perceive human beings as being like the lowest part of the creation and we're not worth it. But yet again, you find Loases so close to humanity that help us all the time with different things, either sending a message or just solving problems. And that's what I believe in. I believe that they're very close to us and they're here for a reason, and they guide us and protect us from different things that we don't even see every day.
Right.
And they're able to do it either through just messaging or do it themselves. That answer the question.
No, that was a good question. Thank you. Good question. Good answer.
Great question.
What is your opinion on money and religion? Because we have gotten a lot of feedback of people that see us as sort of like taboo for using money to provide for spiritual needs. What is your opinion on money and religion?
That's a very tricky question, because originally, and this is just probably being the cultural part of coming from Dominican Republic. The saying is that, or whatever they say in the streets, is that, if you're a real caballo de misterio, you shouldn't charge for your gifts. It was given to you to help people. But that's something very, very localized, let's say, in Dominican Republic, because you need very little to survive.
Right.
So, you have a little casita, and somebody provides for you in your home. And essentially what Loas need in payment is probably a light or some type of element that represents a ron or whatever it is, a perfume or whatever it is. So that was the form of payment that was acceptable throughout ages in Dominican Republic. Una lupa loa or un ron or whatever, and that was okay. And they make it seem like that's the pure form of what it is. But yet again, we live in a in this country where you do pay rent, where you do have to, work and go to school and pay for everything yourself. So I don't look down upon somebody that has a gift and they could do, for example, spiritual reading. Every other religion or every other spiritual consultation besides the 21 division that you charge for it. Why not charge for it? Because you do have to pay rent. You want to pay tribute to your thing and receive luces and rum, but you have to pay for your bills, and I think they know that.
Right.
Now the dark side of that is people taking advantage of that and charging like an insane amount of money for any trabajo, or like how you currently doing a trabajo that essentially in the Botanica costs you like $7 of material, and charging $300 for it.
Right.
It just don't. Everybody has their time and
No,
the
I
value
agree.
to their
I
time.
100%
I
agree.
don't mind with it, but sometimes it is over the top. And what I see with that is that they see our religion as very monetized or very money hungry to do it, because a lot of caballeros will charge a lot just because they know how to do certain things. But if you go to other religions, again, comparing it to Santeria, you pay for every single thing that is done to you. It's all written down. This is the way it's supposed to. So somebody that is in charge of the food that you're gonna give for a certain thing, that person has to be paid plus the food that you're gonna do. Somebody's gonna do a tambor for you. The person has to be paid. That have to be paid plus the service of the tambor. So everything have to be, but it's nice. It's nice and organized. In our culture, in our religion, unfortunately, since nothing is written down and nothing is organized, people just go about it on merits. Oh, this cuesta tanto, this cuesta tanto, and it's bad. But I don't look down upon, you have to survive and maintain yourself physically. You have to eat, you have to pay your rent, you have to do a lot of the things, so you have to have some time. And most of these caballos de militares, this is the only job they have. That's why you find a lot. This is the only job they have. This, it consumes every second of their life, and how they're gonna make ends meet unless they're begging for money or whatever. So I don't see a negative or positive. There's negative parts of it that when they overcharge a lot of the stuff, but the positive is that it's there. It's you go to Catholic church and you want to do a baptism, the church charges, right? It's a holy ceremony, but in reality they have to pay the rent, So.
Do you recommend people working alone, or do you recommend that they have a godparent or a guide? Do you feel like that's necessary?
I believe in our practice at the moment where we're doing it right now. Yes, you need some type of guide, again, because everything is passed down, nothing is written down. So praying to somebody that has experience and had their own personal experience with the loases to more or less guide you through some things. Again, that's one of the beauties of this religion, that is very personal and everybody has a different path to the things. I know people that became Christians and all of a sudden they forget, they go to become a caballo, like out of the blue, and then they go back to being just a servant or being a plaza, like. So everybody has their own path. Like, my path is insane. I was raised Catholic, obviously, because of my Dominican background. But my parents used to be the Dio de Jehová when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
I was baptized Mormon. My big influence and my mentor that I learned most of my business thing is a Jewish. So I have a lot of Jewish traditions that I follow and I feel comfortable with. And then I practice 21, you know what I mean? Like, so that's the beauty of the 21 División, or the way we practice it now. It's a very personal thing, and nobody can tell you, this is the way it's done, or you wasn't initiated correctly, or whatever. But yet again, then you have the situation where you have to cling to a padrino or to somebody just to get the knowledge of certain things and how to do it correctly. So you have the good and the bad there.
Okay, so would you, for those that are listening and those that will, be knowing more about this Botanica, are you willing to be contacted personally by them? Obviously through, the Botanica.
Yeah, they can call the Botanica if they have any questions. We try to have as much information as possible, whatever limited information that we have about certain things. But people can just come and ask, how you do a punto for certain. If we don't know, we say we don't know. But if we do know, we try to guide people to do it the right way.
Right.
Maybe it's not the right way, right. Depending on the point of view of people. But yeah, that's another concept of this Botanica specifically. Traditionally, Botanicas were like very dingy and closed off, and it was something very welcoming to somebody that wasn't initiated or know anything about it. We try to we try to change that. At least here in New York City, I know other people. I know for a fact other botanicas in Maryland and in Miami. They started that way before we did, but we try to do that here, where you'll find that you can come and nobody's pressuring you to do this is the way you do it, or you have to be scratched by palos instead of doing the 21 División. Like, you find a lot of that in a lot of botanicas where they try to guide you to what they believe it is. We try to keep this botanica as open as possible. You can do whatever you want. Ask questions if you are interested about something. To the point where there's a lot of things that I feel uncomfortable with that I can reconciliate with my own personal beliefs. People have to come here and get things for devil worshiping, and I'm supposed to be okay, and I'm okay with it because that's their path. That's what they're going to, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just devil worshiping, but anything that may be conflictive with your own personal beliefs. So the basics of this botanica is to be as open as possible, so people can approach it and it's nice, well lit, and try to be organized, just so people can find their own path. I truly believe in that. Maybe it's because my whole thing with Buddhism. By the way,
you have puntos there.
I got a problem, but I love Buddhism. I love the whole Dharma.
Charon Zig.
Huh?
Charon Zig is my favorite.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's my favorite.
So, the finding your own path and the way of your own enlightenment, and your own, I believe that's essential for everybody.
Right.
Say, into Alicio or whatever it is, Santeria, Paleria, Sanse, whatever it is.
Okay. Are there any final words you would like to let people know if they're starting this path?
Yes. Find somebody that you can connect with.
Okay.
So when I say that, I believe that everybody has their what do you call it, gut feeling, or they say the Loases, or they say the Espíritu Santo, whatever it is that you believe that is inside of you, that is guiding you. Is always gonna guide you to a connection with somebody. I'll give you a perfect example. I know Loases, I know Caballo de Misterios, that for 9 out of 10 people, they're amazing. And one person will be like, he doesn't even know,
Right.
how to clean their, you know what I'm saying? So, not everybody's 100% for everybody. I think that's by design. You should get like a connection with somebody, trying to find somebody that can guide you through things and teach you their experience of what this religion is supposed to be, until we get your book and everybody can get. But definitely find your way, find somebody that you can speak to. Doesn't have to be just a consulta and wasting your not wasting your money, but spending money on just consulta. Just find people that you can ask questions
and speak to.
Yeah, because we need this religion to survive and to not die on this new generation.
All right, it was amazing. You were great. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah,
That's it.
that's all.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.